Dreame R20 versus Dyson V12. Straight up, one of these makes you pay extra for the badge, and the other gives you almost the same clean for a lot less. That's the real fight here. Battery is where it gets interesting. One of them lets you finish the whole house on a single charge without sweating it. The other taps out faster than you'd expect for the price. If you've got pets, stairs, and mixed flooring, one fits better. If you want the lighter feel and the polished build, the other makes more sense. Both linked below with the current price.
How do they actually clean? Start with the floors. Both pull dust and crumbs without complaint on hardwood. That's table stakes at this level. But the Dyson V12 has something the Dreame doesn't quite match. That suction stays consistent under load. Push it into a thick rug, drag it over embedded pet hair on a couch, and it keeps biting. People who own it keep coming back to one thing. The canister fills with stuff they had no idea was in their carpet. The Dreame R20 isn't outclassed on hard floors. Its 150 air watts is real, and on a clean kitchen pass, it'll grab everything you throw at it. Where it gets tricky is mid-pile and low-pile carpet. There's an opinion floating around from someone who said the suction was actually too aggressive on low pile to the point the motor would shut off and worked better on thicker rugs. That's a strange trade-off, and it tells me the airflow tuning isn't as dialed in as Dyson's.
For pet hair specifically, both handle it. The Dyson's anti-tangle setup on the cleaner head is more proven. That's just the truth. If you've got a long-haired dog and a couch you actually use, the V12 is the safer pick.
Now battery. This one flips the script. The Dreame advertises 90 minutes. On eco mode, it gets close. The Dyson tops out around 60. On paper, Dreame walks it. In practice though, both crater the same way the second you hit turbo or boost. You're looking at maybe 8 to 12 minutes of full power before it's done. Real talk, nobody vacuums their whole house on max. You ride eco or auto, bump the power for rugs and corners, and that's where the Dreame's longer ceiling actually matters for bigger homes.
That said, there's a recurring complaint on the Dreame side. A few owners felt the battery drained way faster than the box promised, especially on high. One person mentioned not being able to finish 1,700 square feet in a single go. Take it with context, but the gap between advertised and real world is wider here than on the Dyson, where 60 minutes tends to mean 60 minutes.
If your home is large and mostly hard floors, the Dreame gives you more runway. If you clean in shorter, more aggressive bursts, the Dyson's consistency is what you want.
Maintenance. This is where Dyson's premium starts looking shaky.
The V12 cleans beautifully when it's clean, but there's a recurring nightmare in the reviews. The airway clogs, an error message pops up, the machine pulses on and off, and you end up disassembling the wand and shaking dust globs out by hand. One owner described needing a high-pressure air compressor to fully clear it. That shouldn't be the experience on a vacuum at this price. The Dreame is simpler. Bottom empty bin, fewer error states, fewer ways to get stuck. The downside, the filter system isn't true HEPA, and replacement batteries are hard to source down the line. So you're trading premium engineering and its quirks for something more straightforward but less serviceable long-term.
On weight and handling, both are light. Both maneuver under furniture without drama. The Dyson uses a power button instead of a trigger, which honestly is the better call for longer sessions. Your finger doesn't cramp. The Dreame uses the hold down trigger style. Small thing, but you'll feel it after 10 minutes. Attachments are roughly even. Both come with crevice tools, brush heads, and stair-friendly setups. The Dreame throws in more pieces in the box for car interiors and tight spots, which is genuinely useful if you don't already own a handheld. The Dyson's tools feel more refined, but you get fewer of them at this trim.
On the lights, both have illumination on the floor head. And yes, it's actually useful, not a gimmick. You'll see dust you didn't know existed, especially on dark, hard floors. Price and value. They're not in the same range. The Dyson sits noticeably higher, and it goes on sale less often. The Dreame tends to see deeper discounts, especially around the big shopping events. What you're paying extra for with Dyson is the brand, the build feel, the cleaner head engineering, and that consistent suction under load. What you're getting from Dreame is most of the cleaning power, longer max runtime, and more accessories for a lot less money. Where that leaves you depends on what you actually weigh more.
Here's the call. For most of you watching this, the Dyson V12. The suction holds up under load, the cleaner head handles pet hair without drama, and the runtime you actually get matches what's on the box. That's what tips it for me. If your home is large, with mostly hard floors, and you want longer runway on eco, the Dreame R20 is the smarter buy. And if you've dealt with clog and pulse drama before, the Dreame's simpler to live with. Just don't expect true HEPA or easy battery replacements down the line. The Dreame tends to drop hard around the big sales events. Worth waiting for that. And you? Which one would you pick? Let me know in the comments. Both linked below with the current price.